If you notice on this channel, I don't talk about stocks anymore, because when it comes to investing, you're really not going to help many people. Everybody will think they're the smartest people in the room, but they'll figure it out later on when they're in their late 50s and 60s if they did it right or wrong or not. But in this video, I want to expose some of the things that a lot of these financial crooks do, because very few people can spot it, okay? You got a lot of gullible, desperate, and young people. A lot of people really can't spot what's going on until it's too late. And then after they spot it, they just won't say anything because they're ashamed that they got taken advantage of. And you'll never hear them say they got taken advantage of. Very few people will voice that they got scammed by somebody. Let me ask you this question. Say you were sitting at the gate to board a plane. You're sitting there, you're at your gate, let's just say gate 75, and you're about to catch a flight to Tennessee. And me, came up to the podium. You know how like those people are standing there and they check your boarding passes and the stuff like that. Let's just say I rolled up looking like a pilot. And I said, "Hey everybody, I'm your captain today, First Sergeant something. I'm not a pilot. I watched a few videos on being a pilot. I'm a longshoreman and I'm a part-time YouTuber, but I'm gonna give it a shot." And I walked down the tarmac to go board the plane. Do you know how many people will stay at that gate? I'm willing to bet you 97% of the people will stay at that gate. They'll think it's a joke. They'll think it's funny. They will laugh, but then they will stay there doing what they're doing on their phones, talking to their significant others. 3% of the people will say, "What?" and get up and walk away. They will say, "I'm not taking any chances." 97% of the people will stay there and take their chances with a person who has no clue of what they're doing. That's what a lot of people do when it comes to financial advice on YouTube. The people are literally giving you the warning signs to your face, telling you, "I am not an experienced person. Do your own due diligence. I'm not a financial person. I'm not this. I'm just a person that's talking." And then they will go on to market their classes, their courses, their coaching, their wealth building tools. That is financial advice. Do you know why they give you that disclaimer? That's to protect them from going to jail or you bringing any actions upon them by calling your district attorney or the SEC and reporting them. Their law team told them they have to do that because guess what? You go any further, hey, it's on you. A lot of people are desperate, they're gullible, and they're young, and they're willing to blow through all of those warning signs because they are desperate for money. Their financial situation will have them blow through all the warning signs. And you know what happens? Like 9.99 times out of 10, those people lose all their money. Now, the gambling person who wants to take that 0.01% chance of striking it rich, I hope it pays off for you. It probably won't. And you will be blaming the government. You'll be blaming the influencer. You'll be blaming YouTube. You'll be blaming social media, TikTok, or wherever that person broadcasts themselves to you. You'll be blaming them, but you won't look in the mirror. Let me give you some red flags on things they do. They always talk about what's going up at the moment. They always talk about what's hot. They never talk about things, and if they do say they found it, but they alerted people that they found it behind the paywall. They'll tell you they found it and they alerted everybody, but it was behind a paywall. Why do you think they say that? Because they want you behind that paywall to get paid. They are charging people every month for this stuff. And a lot of these classes and courses, all of them, are not used in the real world. You can't take any social media class and go to a business and say, "I took this class," and they give you a job based on a social media class. All right. Let me give you some deeper rundown warning signs. They always seem to get in the market at the most perfect time. They always say, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. That's a classic scammer phrase. They will always go back in time and tell you, if you would have bought here, this is where I alerted the family and the friends and all my subscribers when we entered here. And then they'll market their school, and then they'll tell you where they exited. It's always at the bottom and it's always at the top. But do you ever notice it's never in their portfolio? It's never showing you a buy at that point that they pointed to and an exit of what they said they exited. It's always on a free platform where you can go. Google Finance, Yahoo, it could be on Robinhood. It's just showing you a regular chart. It's not showing you where they bought in or where they exited. They're infamous for that, okay? They're always entering and exiting at the perfect time. Another big one is the influencer you're following. It's so simple. Just go to the oldest videos. A lot of these people popped up after 2020. If they popped up in 2020 or after 2020 talking about stocks and crypto, ask yourself, what made them become a genius at the perfect time where everybody was home, including them, where they probably lost their jobs? Why did they become a genius then? Why is it linked to them being the best stock crypto people? Why weren't they talking about this when YouTube first came out? Why weren't they talking about this in 2015, 2016, 2017? A lot of times their history will show them it will show you what they were doing. They were motivational speakers. They were musicians. They were doing drywall. They were selling sunglasses. They were trying to find their niche, and they finally found it. Do you know a lot of these people realize they will never go to jail scamming? There's actually an influencer up here that has baking soda and a scale on his desk. Who do you think he's talking to? Have you ever gone into a bank and there's baking soda and a scale on their desk? Would you follow a person? Would you take any type of advice in person if somebody had baking soda and a scale on their desk? Sad part is some people would. Do you know what baking soda and a scale is linked to? Selling drugs. That's what that person was in jail for. Some of you may know who I'm talking about. That person actually told a story on how they were in jail and a white collar person was in jail with them and told them that they had less time than them because they actually scammed people out of money, and you get less time for scamming people out of money than selling drugs on the street. And what did this person transition from? A street level drug dealer into a financial guru. Some of you may know who I'm talking about. When markets are up, they're pumping every hot stock, every hot crypto, every index fund, everything that's hot. When markets go down, they disappear. They have family issues, they're not feeling good, or they just won't upload. They'll take a break. Some of them will literally get suspended for giving financial advice, and then they'll come back and say, YouTube suspended me because they don't want me giving you all the secrets to getting wealthy. They want you working your 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. They never emphasize that your 9 to 5 is your number wealth building tool. You want to know why? Because they know the majority of the people work low paying jobs. They want to give you the illusion that the minimum wage worker can become a millionaire in America. It won't happen. I'm sorry to break this to you. You can hate me all you want, but the more money you make and the more money you keep in your pocket, you will have better odds in becoming a person who is financially free. They're always throwing millions, millionaire. Do you know there's some people that reach 500,000 and they're happy with that? They relocate to another country and they literally retire to another country because that was enough money, say in the Philippines or something like that. It's not always about millions. It's about making enough money that will sustain your lifestyle from when your working time is done. They disappear. Then they come back like nothing ever happened. they'll start talking about something else. They'll start talking about paying off debts. They'll start talking about getting side hustles. They'll start talking about saving your money and getting rid of car payments. But just 3-4 months prior to that, they were pumping Bitcoin. They were pumping XRP, Shiba Inu, Dog with Hat, all these stocks that had no profits, nothing. That's what they do. They're shapeshifters. Do you know social media gave scammers and real life criminals the ability to cast a wide net around the world on unsuspecting victims? They literally said, why am I going to sell poison in my neighborhood and destroy my neighborhood when I could destroy millions of lives across the world with gullible, desperate young people that will fall for anything? Ask yourself, what knowledge are they giving you that you can't find out yourself? Do they work inside of Wall Street? Do they have a friend of this IPO that's being launched? Are they in the inside? Everything they tell you is from the news. It's from what Michael Burry is doing, what Warren Buffett said he's doing. It's nothing from the inside. It's all public information. There's nothing that they're telling you that you can't see yourself. They're playing news clips. They're talking about Tom Lee. They're talking about Alex Karp. They're talking about this. But then they go on to market their school, their class, their wealth building, their coaching. But remember, before they even market that stuff to you, they gave you a disclaimer that they have no clue of what they're talking about, that it is you who decided to follow them, which is true. They always talk about the stock market like he's a person. Mr. Market, Mr. Market, Mr. Market. This is what the market's doing. You see, the market is going to do this. The market is going to do this. The market is billions of people around the world. You don't know what the market's going to do. The market is me. The market is you. The market is Goldman Sachs. The market is Jamie Dimon. The market is Michael Burry. The market is the business of a Fortune 500 company. Do you know what everybody's doing? Do you know what I'm doing? No, you don't. You don't know what the market's going to do. You see, there's an analogy from Benjamin Graham. He said, you got to look at the stock market as a crazy person that knocks on your door 5 days out of the week that is asking you to do business with him. Most people, the majority of the people, will open the door and let Mr. Market in, and they will do something and end up losing money in the long run. Investors look out the window and we call the police on Mr. Market to get him off our doorstep. You don't have to do business with the stock market. You don't have to do anything. The stock market's job is to have you do something. Do you hear I'm at work right now? This is how we bought the properties in Aruba. Well, the property in Aruba. This is how we bought our homes. This is how we paid off our cars. I'm a longshoreman and my woman owns her own business. We put our money together and now we live life because we stopped worrying about our investments. I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't care about the stock market. I deleted every app I have. You want to know what I did? I wrote down the passwords. I started my New Year's resolution early. I don't want to talk about stocks. I don't care about stocks. I've been doing this for over 20 years, investing in index funds, investing in dividend stocks. Do you know I don't even invest on my own anymore? I just let my 401k invest on its own, dollar cost average, throw it in whenever it gets put in. They take the money from me, my job puts it in. I don't even look at it. I don't even care. My Roth IRA, every year, I throw the money in at the beginning of the year. I don't even care. The only time you need to look at your portfolio is when you're getting the 1099, something they never show you, and you're giving it to your accountant. I deleted all my apps. I wrote down the passwords, the logins, put them on a piece of paper, put it in a safe, saved the passwords in a secure folder on my phone. I don't care. Every 3 months, I signed up for the statements. I'll glance at it. It is what it is. Do you know every time you wake up and the United States is here, the stock market is here, you're good. You're golden. Okay? A lot of people, they gotta know. They gotta know. When you gotta know, you're more likely going to react. At this point, we are living life. That's what life is about, to live it. I'm not saying that you gotta live cheap your whole life, but you wanna front end your money, get as much money in as you can. You do what you wanna do. I don't care. It's your money. My money is not your money, and your money is not my money. You wanna put your money in, front load it so you can concentrate on what matters. Time. You can't get time back, okay? They're always talking about what is hot. Back in 2020, 2021, until like 2022, remember it was the EV stocks? Then it was the crypto miners, like 2023, 2024. Then it was the quantum stocks, recent, they're crashing. Imagine you lost money in EV stocks, crypto miners, now quantum stocks. Do you know investors, real investors, we've owned it all this whole time, meaning dollar cost averaging in the companies that are still around. And if they blow up, you're going to get the growth. A lot of these scammers and these crooks, what their job to do is make a business. The business is you. They meet up once a year at something called FinCon. I find it funny. It's called FinCon. They meet up. It's like an MLA, multi-level marketing. They start introducing each other on their channels. You ever see somebody all of a sudden, they just bring a special guest on, go to their channel and subscribe. They met at FinCon. They linked up behind the scenes on social media. They may hit that bigger influencer off with some money. Now they're getting some of their subscribers. They have all these classes, workshops, schools. You got influencers up here that were ex-bass players. They took on the persona as a gospel preacher. They don't even do that anymore. They're selling coffee. They're selling schools. They're selling Patreons. They have Black Friday sales, Christmas sales. Let me ask you a question. If what they did worked so well, why did not they sell that school, that class, or that trading software to Betterment, right? To Wealthfront, robo-advisors. Why are they not selling it for $100 million or $1 billion? Why is it on sale for $57 a month? Why do they say you can put it on layaway? What financial person says put not financial advice on layaway? When you purchase it from them, they got guaranteed money from you. They already showed you the whole disclaimer saying that there's no guarantee you're going to make money. They're living off of what they're selling you. Have you ever heard the expression, you make the profits off of what you're selling, not what you're using or you're doing yourself? Let me ask you a question. If you found a hidden gold mine that every time you go there, there's gold nuggets, there's gold bars, are you going to tell anybody about it? So if you found a hidden secret to make as much money, why would you sell it for $59.99? If they're worth so much money, why are they not on a beach with a mansion built and servants fanning them? Why are they making videos in a studio? Why are they in their studio giving you the hottest plays? Ask yourself this. Why is this person retired and I'm not, but I'm following them? If you go back to their prior videos, their studios gotten better, their cars gotten better. Has your life gotten any better? If you look at what they do, they're holding fundraisers. You know why they hold fundraisers? They'll ask you guys to give them money to their fundraiser. They take your money, right? Say you give them $15,000. They give $15,000 themselves. Whatever you give, I'll match. You want to know why they got to give fundraisers? YouTube does not take deductions from the money that they pay us. They give you the lump sum, and it's up to us to file it on our taxes as earned income. What they do is take your $15,000. They'll give you $15,000 to match you, but they just wrote off $30,000. So they could be getting the break in a tax return of what they gave with your money, meaning they'll get their $15,000 back. They might get $20,000 back. They're writing off your money. Let me ask you a question. In what part of the game do you start giving your money to an influencer so he gets a bigger tax write-off, but you can't even claim that on your taxes? The goal is to keep the money in your pocket. A lot of influencers up here, they do something called the bait and switch. You ever seen a scammer come up to you, these pickpocketers? Have you ever been on vacation? They'll come up to you with a rose. They're distracting you, giving you a rose. Somebody else is picking your pocket. That's how they operate. It's the delusion. It's all an illusion. You can do whatever you want to do. Your life is going to be your life. They never talk about anything tangible. Everything they talk about can be done from your phone. You ever notice that? Because wealth is created with purchasing tangible things too. You ever notice they never, ever, ever talk to you about making more money at your job, getting a better degree, getting more certifications, buying a home, because you need money for that. They want to give you the illusion that you can print tendies from your phone, okay? Now, if you notice, they disappear when markets go down. A lot of them are changing their stories. They'll start talking about they sold out, now they're in cash, that they're buying bonds, that they're doing this, they're doing that. Do you know if you miss the 5 best days of a market upswing within 10 years, your portfolio can be down 20% at the end when you go to retire? Just 5 days of a market upturn. So many people recently sold out of the market and they're sitting in cash. You ever notice they always sell out at the top? Then they'll tell you, I alerted you that I'm in cash. And then when the market starts to go up, they'll go backwards. See, I re-entered here, but I told and I alerted the family that I re-entered here. Ask yourself something. Really ask yourself. Ask yourself this. How long have they been talking about stocks and crypto? If you think they are right and they know what they're talking about, are you retired yet? You've been following them. Are you retired? If you're not retired yet and you're not worth millions, you tried it their way, now try it mine. Let me get to work. I got to go build my 401k, my Social Security. I got to go get this medical insurance, because that's how you stay out of debt. You get a job with medical insurance, a 401k. Try to find a job that has stock options, pensions, stuff like that. Keep your debts low, and you mark my words, you will start to see your net worth change. It might take a little while, but you will see your net worth start to change. No regrets. Get it.